So there's been a lot of talk on the Respect for Marriage Act that passed a major Senate hurdle the other day, with a lot of creators saying that it's not a good bill, it's bad for same-sex couples, or that it's a trick bill. I wanted to make some clarity and go through the bill and understand what it does, what it doesn't do, and why it is a good thing for same-sex couples. It's a fairly complex topic, so I will try to squeeze everything I can into 3 minutes here, but I'll probably do a longer video on my YouTube channel. So number one, what does it do? It basically protects at the federal level, therefore nationwide, the status that is achieved through marriage by same-sex and interracial couples. Also very important, it repeals the Defense of Marriage Act, I'll call it DOMA from now on, which has allowed up until recently states to discriminate against these couples. What does it not do? It doesn't require any state to codify a right to marry. But that doesn't mean it doesn't do anything. It does quite a bit, and here's why. The bill, by adding verbiage and repealing other laws, prevents states who have otherwise been able to not recognize interracial or same-sex marriage from discriminating couples that were married as interracial or same-sex in states that do allow that marriage to take place. The Constitution grants the states the power to decide what are the requirements to get married, and that's where it gets sticky. Those requirements can be as simple as blood test or some research or an affidavit, but sometimes they get pretty restrictive, and that's where same-sex couples do not have a right to marry in those states. Now, the Constitution also has something called the Full Faith and Credit Clause. I'll go into it in my YouTube video, but some states' laws allow that principle to be circumvented and therefore to not recognize certain marriages. This new law would repeal all of that. Now, up until now, federal protection has been granted not by laws or statutes, but by Supreme Court decisions. For interracial couples, that is the Loving v. Virginia decision, and for same-sex couples is the Obergefell decision. Now, recent events show everybody how easy it is for the Supreme Court to overturn those decisions, and Justice Thomas actually stated that he has an intention to overturn them. And when it comes to federal law, the primary federal law in the book right now is the DOMA that I was telling you about earlier, which has been used by states to deny recognition of the validity of marriage by couples that were married in other states, and to deny federal benefits to those couples. Now, if the Supreme Court overturns the Obergefell or the Loving v. Virginia decisions, that legislation would re-expand and become enforceable again. So the Respect for Marriage Act would crystallize all these rights and forced all 50 states to employ the Full Faith and Credit Act and therefore recognize things like adoptions, divorce decrees, and so on. And any state violation will then be protected by the U.S. Attorney General's office. I hope I didn't go too quickly, but I'll let you know when my YouTube video is up.